Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Oh no, there's a black thing in there. Oh, it's this. Could just about see that there. How is everybody doing tonight, though? You all well? Enjoying your beautiful Saturday? At the moment outside, it is sunny, I think. It was pouring it down earlier, but hopefully everybody else is having a nice day so far. So, as you can probably read from the stream title, we are going to be building a KBD8X today. So this was my old KBD8X. I had it for about a month before selling it. It's a really great board. The only reason that I sold it was to pay for the Ace of Spades, which I'm building myself. So this board is going to be built today in ANSI. The customer that's bought it has requested it being built in standard ANSI with stepped caps lock. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And so what we've got to build it today with is we have got a stack of Gateron Inks. So these have been lubed with 205 grade 0. They have then been spring swapped with 63.5 gram sprit springs. And so I've done my standard of lubing them all over, and they sound and feel great at the moment. I've got more than I need in there, so if there's any dud switches, I'll be able to swap them out. We have then got some Durox stabs. So we had a bunch of issues with getting the stabs. These are just the standard Durox stabs that come from the Durox AliExpress page. And originally he sent over some they were either cherry or some other the black insert ones, and there wasn't enough, so we bought some more of these. These ended up getting sent to a neighbour by accident, and we ended up having to wait for the neighbour to get back from holiday and pop round. Oh, hi Jack Static, how you doing? You're doing well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the build process of this. So this is the grey KBD8X case. At the moment it is not got any screws in it because I knew that I was going to be building it. But this is the case overall. Really beautiful case. Hi Wasabies, how you doing? So this is a lovely case, uses a USB-C connector there, and as standard it came with a brass plate, and the brass plate is great. It's been sort of coated. Hi Kronborg, how you doing? So just so you guys know, this is Kronborg's board. So the plate itself is really nice. It's brass, and normally when you get a brass plate it tarnishes super easily, so you just even touching it a little bit, it ruins the coating on it. But luckily enough they've done some sort of Cerakote clear coat finish to it, which means that it's really difficult to tarnish, which is perfect for sort of a daily board, which I believe Kronborg is going to be using it for. So let's take it apart and let's have a quick look. So this is the internal parts of this. So you can see there's like little grooves here where the plate mount. I've got some little rubber O-rings in the packet here. You can just see them there that go into those sections to give it a little bit of a almost what would be a burger mount style. Inside the actual case there is some rubber dampening foam as well to go in there. So I'm just going to put this top piece off to the side because we don't really need it for a little bit. And this is the plate. So you can see the plate is slightly lighter than it normally would be, and that's because it's been sandblasted and coated, and it's got a really nice sort of matte coat to it. Solid plate. It's obviously got the nice sand cutouts and the nice spacebar sort of whale tail sort of cutout to get a better sound from it. So when we lube it later and sort that out, hopefully it'll make it a little bit better. I do need to keep this here actually, So let's keep that off to the side for now. So the next piece is the PCB. So this has been desoldered. So in a previous build stream, I built this up. I've since done a desolder PCB, and we're gonna resolder it today. It's obviously got the flex cutouts. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. If I do this, you guys might be able to see that how much it's flexing there. That really adds a decent level of flexibility to the, if you're using linears, it just gives them a little bit more, I found, compared to using it like a completely solid PCB. Obviously the options, normally if you want to go super flex, you could always go for like a polycarbonate plate, but I think the brass plate and this go really nicely together. So actually inside the case, KBD fans includes a little rubber dampening foam mat thing, and funnily enough, when I took the board out, you can probably see there's like a little bit of residue from where the lube has sort of dripped through from the stabilized keys, but I don't know if you can see around here there's little indentations. The whole board was in, the whole foam was indented with the indentations of the switches coming through. So you can see that they've gone for some fairly decent foam because it's gone back to nearly how it originally was. Obviously these outer ones are the LEDs, which obviously sit a little bit further out. Wasby says decent build quality overall. Yes, I mean the board is excellent. I mean, if you guys were ever thinking or on the fence about getting in on the KBD fans next group buy, because they're going to be, I believe they're going to be selling these boards again. Slightly more expensive, I do have to say, slightly more expensive than I sold this to Cromboard for. So you've gotten a fairly decent deal off me, but they're going to be selling these boards again, and they're going to be selling the polycarbonate version again. And so if you can or were on the fence about getting one, I'd highly suggest getting one. They're really nice boards. They're really, really solid. And so let's take this off because we don't need this for now. I'll put that back in a second. So this is the internal. You can see I've got some little fingerprints here. I took it apart earlier, but you can see in the bottom, I don't know if it's going to be in the bottom corner just here, that's AIO3 whatever it is, little logo there, and that's the weight itself. I've never actually ever taken this weight out, but you can see the weight. It has got some decent heft to this bottom piece, but really nice overall, really, really nice. The weight is obviously coated in the same sort of like clear coat that the plate has been coated in, so it doesn't tarnish at all. But we don't need this for now either, so I'm just going to get up and put this over here quickly. I'll come grab this again in a little bit when we need it. Okay, so what we're going to get started with is obviously this the build. We're going to be using these stabilizers. Currently they've got no lube on them, and they are, I don't know if you guys can hear that very well, they're rattly as all hell. So we are going to lube these up first to make sure that they're not going to be horrid and rattly. So we've got the 4 of them here. He is obviously going for a standard ANSI layout, so we're going to need all of the stabs we can get. Did the foam come with the board, Zapri asks. Yes, it did. Yes, KBD fans included that foam as standard. Decent quality foam. I wasn't expecting it to be in there when I originally bought it. So, Crombook says my cable from Pexon will arrive at about the same time as the board. It'll be a great combo. I mean, Pexon. There is a reason why the cables for the Ace of Spades are being made by Pexon. In my eyes, he does make the best cables on the market. No offense to any of the other cable makers out there, but I mean, the cable on this is Pexon's. The cable on this is Pexon's. What else have I got? I've got a bunch of other. Connect cables. This is from Pexon. This has got an aviator connector on it. I've got a bunch of Lemo style connectors. He's going to be doing the internal and external cables for the Ace of Spades, so he's my go-to guy. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get lubing these. So I'm going to be lubing these with 205 grade 0. I had a great experience with lubing them, the stabs on this board with 205 grade 0. And if you guys are wanting to hear a sound test of the board there, if you do exclamation YouTube, you will be able to go to my YouTube channel and it'll be the last, second to last one that's on there. Zachary asks, what stabs are we using? So these are the Duroc clear stabs, just off of the AliExpress page. Nice stabs, to be fair. There's I did a bunch of testing a couple of weeks ago on what I thought was going to be the best stab combo, and realistically, Zeal and these are pretty much identical nowadays. So Kronborg says, yeah, I wanted to get some get ones with the smoky housings, but they were all sold out. It's a bit of a shame because I'll show you this, which might well annoy you, but smoky housing inserts. Do you want smoky housings, Kronborg? Because I've got smoky outer housings. I don't have the inners. So I have the smoky outers. And I should have more than enough here. How many do you need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. With inks. No, so these aren't going to get used at all by me. I literally only bought them for the inserts. So if you want these, just say now and you can have them. Okay, done deal. Okay, let me just put all of these wires and stuff away. So I'm just going to need the outer housings. It'll look a little bit strange because you'll have the inners which are clear and then the outers which are smoked, but you're going to see more of the smoked part than anything else. Perfect with inks. Imagine a carbon fibre plate too. Oof. I mean, there's a carbon fibre plate in that, and that looks. Alright, so I'm going to take these outer housings and I'll put them over there. I'm going to have to relube them. Wasby's asks, actually curious, does it matter when it will be underneath under a keycap? I guess if you think of it like that, then yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but you're forever going to know that you don't have that under there. I do understand your point. I'm one of those people that goes for gold springs because I know that they're going to be there, and it would wind me up knowing that they weren't gold. I don't know if it's sort of like a low level of OCD or something like that, but yeah, just an interesting one really. Oh, good evening, Vogon. How you doing? How you doing on this beautiful Saturday? How is everybody doing on this beautiful Saturday, I should ask, actually? Okay, so we're going with the probably what a lot of people would say is the over-lubed method. So let's come this way. You guys can probably see quite a thick layer on there. Come on, camera. You're gonna focus. You're trying your best. You're trying your best, but it's not good enough. So you can probably see quite a thick layer on there. I tried this last week with some of these, and it actually works rather well. Yeah, it's good for all of those nude shots, Kronborg. Exactly. Say that to the countless people running drop linear recolors. Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you very much, Wilo, for the follow. How you doing this evening? Going for Thock or Squelch? Well, it's funny actually, because I actually thought when I was you nearly think you're over lubing with it. I thought I was going to get a bit of squelch last time, or a funny sound at the very least, but zero rattle from the spacebar, which was a huge surprise, number one, because like I've always dealt with there being a little bit of sound, and I always thought, oh yeah, that just comes with the territory of a spacebar because it's a stabilized key, all of this sort of stuff. Yeah, not a single sound. It sounds like it. I will admit it does sound like a slightly elongated normal key, but it is an elongated normal key, really. But it doesn't sound rattly. It doesn't sound like it's making any funny noises or anything like that. And hopefully I'm going to be able to do the same thing here as well when doing this. So who knows, maybe I'll use the board without keycaps and show off those smoky housings. Yeah, I mean you use the board how you feel. Don't let them bully you into believing that there's any set way. You use it without keycaps. I mean, use it with you use it without switch tops as well if you really want to. It's not overlooping on steps. Yeah, I mean, I was always the advocate of less is more, and I tried doing more dielectric grease, but I'd never actually tried doing 205 grade 0 on them, and that was probably a silly mistake that I should have really tried before. Is that it just makes such a difference. It really does. It makes a difference on the sound, and it makes a difference on the feel. But you guys will see how much lube I'm using in a minute, and you'll probably think, oh wow, that's too much. But you guys can probably see how much lube I'm using here. I mean, if I bring it forward a little bit, you guys can probably see that there's a fairly decent amount of lube on these. And I am just giving them a good coating. The lube obviously over time will find its final resting place on the actual stabilizers. It'll move around quite a lot, and obviously the more that I use, the more likely it is going to be to stick in a nice spot. So it's perfectly fine on stabs that amount to be honest. Just put some foil on your finger and try typing on the PCB. I like the idea of that. I like the idea of it. Direct to PCB. Who needs cases anymore? We don't need cases. Okay, let's just wipe a little bit of this off. Ooh. Got a runner there. Dielectric is so thin, it just does not help in the wire. Yeah, the wire part of it just doesn't it doesn't really do anything. I mean, it's a great cheap alternative. Don't get me wrong. But after trying this, I'm going to be doing this with everything, and I have got some super lube coming, which is a grade 2 super lube. I found that with Gateron black ink, some of my keys feel weird when bottoming out while using the cherry profile. I wonder why that is. Vogon PC asks, are your switches south facing? And he says north, I believe. These are south facing? I never remember which way. They are going to be facing this way. Come on, camera. They're going to be facing this way in the board, and I believe that is south facing. Can you guys correct me if I'm wrong in there or right in there? So Wasabies, if you type !lube in the chat, you'll get a breakdown of what I'm using. See, look at this. I mean, you guys didn't have this before. Oh, it doesn't work like that, Wasabies. It doesn't work like that. If you guys put !build in the chat, it'll also tell you what we're building today. So, give you an idea if you're interested in any of the parts. Just put that in there as well. Sorry, I missed a comment message there. Yeah, same for me. Lol, I can never remember the correct part. Yeah, I can never remember which way is south or north facing. I believe, like, with the LED on the bottom side is south facing. I believe that's the case. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that mine are north facing. Yeah, so there is a common problem between GMK caps and one of the facing directions. I can't remember which. I think this is safe. I mean, I have used a GMK set on it and it's been completely fine. So north facing switches have an issue with cherry row 3. Okay, there you go. And they are cherry profile caps, aren't they? So sorry to be the bearer of bad news there then. Would a different profile keycap fix the issue? Yeah, I mean, if you put DSA on, you're likely to fix the issue, or cat or something like that. Cat will be completely fine. Cat doesn't come into any contact with it anywhere near. Yeah, no, it's one of those things that pops up. People saying about north and south facing switches, and I always just completely forget which way is which. So. Grumborg asks, what are the keycaps on the board behind? They're great. Are you meaning this one here or the ones back here? Behind or behind the build behind? Sorry, I'm being facetious there. On the desk, so this is 9009 round 1. Oh, hey Jampot, how you doing? Just going to eat dinner, but I hope the stream goes well. Thank you very much for popping in to say that. Yeah, so as a part of a fairly long-winded trade, I managed to get 9009 round 1. And it involved me buying a set of what was it? I bought a set of GMK Oblivion off of a guy in Korea, and then that got traded to somebody else. It was like a 4-way trade, and we all sort of rotated round one spot, and we all got the keycap set that we wanted. It was a silly trade in the end, but I got 9009 round 1 with I got the base kit, the spacebar kit, the add-ons kit, there's another 2 kits in there somewhere for what was the price of just a standard set of Oblivion. The hype is unreal for the Ace of Spades. Yes, it is. I am unbelievably hyped for that. If only you guys could see the amount of messages that I've sent to poor Salvin. He's had enough of me at this point. He's getting messages what would be hourly at this point of me just being a pain in the ass. Sorry, I kind of missed out on your reply earlier. Sorry, what was the question that you had earlier? I didn't see. What was it with different keycaps fix the issue? Yes. So DSA doesn't come in contact with the switch at all. SA, I believe, is just pretty much higher DSA, so it wouldn't come in contact. CAT wouldn't come in contact. DCS probably wouldn't come in contact because it's thinner. Have you ever Wasbees asked, have you tried putting Milmax sockets in any PCBs? Yes, I had. Not the actual Milmax. I had hold tights, and I had hold tights in the board that's above here, which is the UK40. On and off, how good it was, really, if I'm honest. Some were a bit finicky and didn't want to make good contact. Some were completely fine. But I've heard that Milmax are a lot tighter, so you probably have a much better overall experience with them. I was thinking that if maybe I went for SA, that would fix the issue. Yeah, I don't think SA's got any problem with it. What board out of interest are you using that has that problem? Because, I mean, if it's a KBD fans board, you might well find that they have a new revision of the PCB that has south-facing switches. Or there is perhaps a PCB out there. OEM profile like Tai Hao also does not. Only one, I think, its cherry profile as the keycaps are lower. Yeah, I think it's only one certain row as well that does it. But make sure you try SA before you buy, as it's not everybody's everyone's cupcake. I think you're mixing one there. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and maybe piece of cake. You're mixing the piece of cake or something like that together. But no, I completely agree. Nonetheless, I had a set of SA, and it feels beautiful to type on, and they sound great. But after a while, my hands like really hurt. They so much so that I would stop typing on the board entirely. So go to a meetup, try them out before you buy. A lot of people in the community don't get on with them, so yeah, do give it a try. It's a Melody 96. I have had experience with SA before, and I'm pretty okay with them. Okay, that's not too bad then. I mean, if you want to get a lovely set of SA, you've got SA Vile Bloom? Dream Eater, SA Dream Eater. You could see the cogs whirring there, guys. Yeah, SA Dream Eater is in group buy at the moment, I believe, with Joe from UK Keycaps. So make sure if you do buy it, and you buy it through him, that you put in the notes that Matt sent me. I won't get any commission. I might get a beer at the next meetup though. But I wouldn't mind trying out DSA. Yeah, so it's going to be that central row that's going to be the problem. Yeah. But I'd strongly suggest going to a meetup, because I mean, the problem with just saying what somebody thinks is the best profile is entirely preference based. But also, like, I've seen a lot of people try DSA and they absolutely hate it. Especially if you've tried SA and you've sort of liked it. There's I'm assuming that it's some sort of sculpted SA that you've tried, probably. A lot of SA sets are sculpted SA. So if you like that, you may well not like DSA. You might be better off going for something like DSS maybe, which is pretty much sort of sculpted DSA, I guess. But one thing that if you can get to a meetup, there is going to be a UK meetup in November. If you can get to a meetup, do, before buying keycaps and trying the different profiles out on like a full board. Get a real good sense of how they feel in hand and everything. Because you might not get on with them, and you don't want to drop £100 or $150 or something like that on a set of keycaps that you end up putting up on Met Market for either a loss or having to wait. That's the other thing, is you don't want to end up having to wait for keycaps to turn up to find out that you don't like them. So Gromborg, if you're still there, what do you think? Do you like the look of them? Great. Wasby says, or get lucky, like people selling Handabite now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, win the lottery with GMK Handabite there. Jeez, you got to win the lottery in keyboards. You have to find a set that's popular, but not too popular. Because if it's too popular, there's too many sets out there. Handabite was like, it pretty much only just made MOQ, so whoever bought it was going to be lucky, because there's not that many sets out there in the wild. Sort of a sleeper hit. It's a weird one though, because it's all down to demand. So I think if they ever ran Handabite ran 2, I don't think it would be. I think number one, all of the prices would drop like a stone on Met Market for what Handabite is now. But I don't think it would actually be taken up nearly as strongly, because it was a meme at the end of the day, I think. And I think, like, the fact that there's a limited quantity of a meme out there, people are going to go nuts for it. So I don't know, maybe you guys think differently, but that's what my thought is there for that. So the only downside to this lubing technique is that you do get lube on your fingertips, so I'm going to have to go wash my hands after this. I'll stick with the ones I like, I think. So what sets do you like then? Oh, music stopped. We're getting paused already, boys. Yes, continue. So what's made it onto the list of purchasable keycap sets? Can you mix in scented oils for happy smells? Ooh, I'm not sure about that. I did on my Alps boards, so the Alps board that's there, the Borsdorf, and it's either I think it's this one. They both used Muck Off Dry Lube, which is a off-the-shelf bike lube brand. and I used Muck Off Dry Lube, and it was berry scented, and so every now and again you would just get a pretty smell of berries coming from the board, which was quite nice. So maybe it's going to be the next big thing, scented keyboards. I like simple ones. I've ordered EPBT Ivory and keeping my eye on black on white, maybe Cat Refined. Yeah, I mean Cat Refined is one of those ones that I'm looking at the moment. It's a big if for me. There's some nice EPBT sets coming out soon that are black on white and stuff. Obviously you've got Kuroshiro and what else have you got? You've got a bunch of very monochrome sets coming out anyway soon. And there's Cat Refined and Cat Gentleman or whatever it is. Is Cat something new? I haven't heard about it until recently. Cat's relatively new. It's made by a company called Key Creative, and how the only way that I can explain it is it's somewhere between DSA and SA. It's between there. I used to have a set of Cat Alpha. I've since sold it. But I made the group buy for Cat Lucky Jade and Cat Atlantis, and Cat Refined soon as well. Maybe. I should preface that as well with maybe. Worried about EPBT quality control, and after Milkshake I'm a bit worried about Cat as well. Well, the guys from Key Creative have said that they are going to replace all of the caps, so it's not going to be like a GMK set where it's like you're done. It's like they are going to fix it and make good. I have got an EPBT set that's going to go onto this keyboard tonight. We've got EPBT Grayscale, so you might be able to have a look at the quality of that. It's I had a quick look at it this afternoon. Me and Kronborg were having a discussion about what accent colours to go on, but I'm going to see what you guys say with regards to the accent colours. See what you guys quite like, and he's going to take in your advice, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I'm on Atlantis and Specimen. The blank words. So no legends. There is a completely blank set as well. There's a Cat blank set that's just been released very recently. So you could always get that as well if you're unsure. Wallow says DSA and XDA are pretty interesting. I might go for one of them. Yeah, I mean, if you like flat profile stuff, DSA is probably the better of the two, quality wise. I've got an XDA set up there, and I've got these two are DSA sets. Both my clicky boards are DSA. I prefer clickies on DSA. It seems to resonate a little bit deeper with DSA. So have a close look at the space bar. Yeah, we can have a close look at the space bars. He has got a few space bars because he's obviously got the color modifiers. So sorry guys, I'm yawning away here. It's gotten to that part of the evening already. You even had an energy drink earlier. It's because it's getting warm in here from the computer being on and the lights being on me. Loogie, hey mate, I'm trying to lube my Everglides. Should I bag lube or should I brush the lube on the whole spring? 205 grade 0. Mate, your lube looking kind of dry. Is that salt? No, the lube's okay. It's the last remnants of it, and it's not too bad. It's still relatively liquid. For bag lubing springs, I wouldn't bother trying to do springs with 205 grade 0. Number one, you're not going to be able to bag lube them with 205 grade 0. It's just not gonna be viscous enough to be able to move around. I normally bag lube my springs in like 104, 105 or 106, whichever I can get my hands on. 106 has better staying power, but 105 bag lube's far easier. The 205 grade 0 is not too bad. It's still very liquid. It's just clumped up to the edges because I keep brushing it to the edges all of the time. I have another energy drink. I unfortunately don't have any more energy drinks in the house. I could if I would, but I can't. Nearly there on this on the final stab now, and then it'll hopefully move a little bit quicker this build stream for you guys. Hopefully for my next build I'm not going to be using 205 grade 0 for the stabs, because it is a huge waste of money at the end of the day. It's a lot of money to be throwing at stabilizers. I'm hopefully going to be getting some super lube, which is the same viscosity as this, so I'm hoping that it's going to do the same sort of job. Just the fact that pretty much this is 25 grams of the stuff. I'm going to be able to get 100 grams of it for £10 or something like that, whereas that would cost me 100 grams would be, I can't remember how much I paid for this now, like 25 quid. It was not like nearly £1 a gram, so it would cost me £100 pretty much, which is too much for lube if you're going to be putting it on as thick as I am on these stabs. Oh, I was hoping you were going to lube all the switches as well. Oof, oof. If you want to turn this into a 10-hour lubing stream, then sure. I do take my time with lubing, so all I'm doing is just wiggling that about a bit, just trying to get a little bit of the lube in place. Just to know I'm not dunking the whole thing in, I am only dunking the actual stab wire in. What's the brush size? I have no idea on the brush size. I bought a pack of these little brushes, and it's just one of the random ones that I had there. I'll probably measure it for you. Ooh, hitting this stuff. What the size of it is, the head's about 2 mil wide. Gets the job done at the end of the day. I've got some lube on my finger here, so I'm just going to scrape that off. Definitely does get the job done. I mean, you don't want to be using expensive brushes or anything like that. I mean, you're going to be ruining brushes at the end of the day. So I just bought a cheap pack of sort of watercolour brushes to use. how much can I pay you to do just my stabs? Well, if it's just your stabs, then send it over and I can charge you what, £5? If that's what you really want. I can build the board for you if you really want to. I include it in the price of building a board, so. I found 0, 0 and 0 perfect for switches and stabs. What lube is that, sorry, that you're using there, Vogon? What brand? I use a couple of different lubes for switches. So if a customer comes to me and says I want it to feel more like a stock switch and I want it to glide a little bit better, I've got 103 or 104, which are oils, and they retain quite a lot of the standard feel of the switch. And then obviously, if you want to go smoother, you can move to 205, and 205 will generally make it a little bit more thocky. It seems to increase the bassier sort of sounds of the switch. And I've also got 3204 as well. Oh, you mean brushes? Sorry, yeah. 0, 0 or 0. I have no idea what this is, to be fair. Does it say? Does it say? So this is Crafter's Choice R9595 grade 0. So didn't know that before. Stabs look similar to Oreo switches. Yeah, I guess they sort of do, don't they? I would, to be honest, but kind of want to experience and build myself, including when I fuck up the soldering. Okay, yeah, I mean, you're more than welcome to screw up the soldering as long as it's as long as it's relatively fixable afterwards. Just don't absolutely butcher it. What board are you going to be building then, Zachary? I'm going to have to go wash my hands in a second. Try to get this final stabilizer done. And so we are going to be hockey tape modding the PCB. So for you guys that don't know what hockey tape modding is, there's a common one out there called band-aid modding, and it's where you get the sort of fabric part of a band-aid and you put it onto the PCB where the stabilizer keys are, and what it does is it stops the stabilized key, or the actual stabilizer, from hitting the plastic of the PCB. And so it no longer makes this horrible sort of, it's like plastic on plastic sort of like, that's the best way I can explain it. I'll show you. I'll just put this in and then you guys can have a listen to what it probably sounds like. So it sounds quite a lot like that sort of sound when you're hitting plastic against plastic. So what a lot of people do is they get band-aids and they chop the bit off the where it's just the sticky part, and they use that. But I have found that you can buy hockey tape in rolls, and it's far less wasteful of band-aids. So I use that to go underneath where the stabilizer sits. Got profit in the group by buzzing. Oh, nice, very nice. Well, if you want me to build your profit for you, I'm more than happy to. I wouldn't mind building one on stream. Rama Works Zenith is live for $450 though, and odd layout. I mean, the problem for me with Rama Works is that they don't do anything in ISO, and so all of the boards behind me are ISO. So it's sort of ISO or bust really, and it was a bit disappointing when the U80 wasn't ISO, because I would have sunk so much money into that board. I probably wouldn't have ended up building the Ace of Spades in the end. Okay, that's the end of the lubing portion of this. So let me just take these housings. I'm just going to put them off to the side for now. I'm going to go lube my hand. Lube my hands? I'm going to go clean my hands. They've got lube all over them. Alright, so guys, I'm just going to be right. Okay, and I'm back. Hi guys. Okay, so let me get the hockey tape on. Where have I put it? There it is. So this is the hockey tape. Good stuff. And I need a pair of little snips. Talk about the Ace of Spades. I mean, it's a great song by Motorhead, but I assume that it's not what it's about. Well, it's partially about that. So one of the lines in Motorhead's Ace of Spades is the Ace of Spades is the only card I need. And so I thought, if I'm going to build a board for myself, what are the things that I'm going to want in a board? And so I've made the board around based upon everything that I'm going to want. And so I wanted it to be 7.5 degree typing angle, top mount, ISO fixed plate, stepped caps lock, 7U bottom row, wind keyless, and Limo. They were the main things that I wanted in the board. And so I thought, why don't I just make something that I really, really want? And then from there, I got a lot of support from people. Limo, yes. If you type LEMO into your search engine, it is that. But I can also let me send you guys a link to what it looks like. Been talking an awful lot about this board fairly recently, so. Okay, I'll post it into chat. Here you go, guys. A Limo. So that's my board there. Hey Ben, how you doing? So basically what a Limo connector is it is a it's going to sound really stupid when I say it, but it is a military grade connector. And this thing is secure. There is, if you put in Kepler keyboard into Google, you can find somebody holding a Kepler up using a Limo connector. He's holding it by the wire, and I mean it's a heavy board. The Kepler is a very heavy board, and that's the sort of security that I want from my connector. Plus, this is an added benefit of it, they look incredible. Okay, so we're adding the hockey tape here. So you guys can see the hockey tape being added here. So it doesn't have to be particularly straight, or it's just going to sit wide enough there that it's going to sit underneath the stabs perfectly. What do you do with your keyboard that would warrant military grade connectors? I mean, you've not seen me use a keyboard. I mean, no. The Limo connector is a premium part for the board. At the end of the day, it's a very, very secure connector, but it is a premium part that is used to really sort of bring the board up even further than it is currently. Timeline and price point. So I can't give you a price point because it's a private group buy, and realistically this is a private run of it. The final pricing, if I ever do run a full commercial sale of it, will be changed from this because they're getting it at cost. They're getting it at cost pricing. But the timeline for this version is about probably a couple of months at this point. Salvan at the moment has the board and he has milled the bottom piece out of it already. So he's already partially done some of the milling of the board. So we're going to be moving on to the next steps after that, really. Oh, this piece is not as good. I'm going to start all again. He's obviously using his keyboard as a nunchuck, like a ninja. I mean, if I could swing it around like that, it would make a pretty epic flail. Gotcha. How many are you making? There is 13 being made. So I decided to continue with the Ace of Spades thought train, and there is 13 spades in the deck of cards, your standard deck of cards, unless you're using a rigged deck. There's 13 spades in the deck of cards, so 13 are going to be made, and one of them is going to Salvan. Salvan has one of them, so 12 others, and one of those is mine. If you watch Salvan's Wednesday stream, you'll be able to see the building of my board, hopefully. He's going to have all of the other bits, so we're going to be on the prototype stream, because he's milling the sections out at the moment. And the base, the milling of the base went really, really well. He milled the base and he milled the hole for the limo, and he also he actually threaded the hole, which was a big worry because it was the first time that he was using a thread mill like he was. So, can you show a sound comparison with and without hockey tape? I do actually have I do actually have one. I wonder if I can show it on here. I'm gonna have to peel one of these off. Probably best if I peel these off, actually. Alright, I'm going to lightly peel these off, and we'll do a sound comparison. I'll turn the music off in a second. I'll get these screwed down into there, and then you guys can hear the difference. I mean, I do it with all of my boards now, and it does make a relatively decent change to the sound profile. This one doesn't want to go in. There we go. Oh, we've been muted again. Oh, we've come to the end of that playlist, so let's put on... This guy's got a few shorter playlists, so let's put on another one of his playlists. Chill type music. Sounds good to me. Nice. Hope it's successful. Looking forward to seeing how it turns out. Yeah, so am I. I mean, I've gone with people who I regard as the best in the business. So I've gone with Salvan because Salvan's quality when it comes to building boards is unmatched. I mean, I've seen him like put B stock stuff like that would be China AAA stock, and he won't send that out. He wouldn't send that sort of stuff out to me. So his level of quality is nuts, and so he meets that mark of somebody that I want to be involved in the project. Like for instance, I've got Pexon who's making the cables for me. Kronborg is getting some a cable made by him, and not only is Pexon a good mate of mine, but he is easily the best cable maker in the UK, if not the world. His quality control is so high. I'm getting my PCB made by a friend called Andy, and Andy is he not only does he live one road up from me, but he makes some incredible projects, and I'm constantly getting messaged by him. So it was really a no-brainer on who I should go for a decent quality. The plate is being made by Laser Boost, and I choose Laser Boost for all of my plate options nowadays. They do a really good job. £200 cables. No, unfortunately not. Not £200 for a cable for me, at least. He does them a little cheaper for me. No, he's Pexon's a good lad when it comes down to it for cables, and he's doing them at a good rate. So. There we go. Tiny little bit of interference between the ANSI enter and the right shift, but for this demonstration purpose, my fingers are getting lube on them again. It should work. So the cables that Pexon's making for the Ace of Spades, he is making the internal cable that goes from the PCB to the internal part of the female LEMO connector, and then he's also doing the male end of the LEMO to the USB that goes into your PC. See that is what ANSI is for you. Yeah. It's not going to affect the feel of it. I think it's just the way that they go in. I probably think you're meant to put the ANSI enter in first, but because we're just doing a quick test, I'll do it this way. Okay, so let's pause the music a second, and you guys might be able to hear this. Should I put a switch in there? No, I'll bring it up to the microphone so you guys can hear. Don't know if you guys can hear that very well. Let me get a couple of switches. It's probably not going to be the best method of doing this because the switches are going to be relatively loose anyway. But we can do a somewhat A/B test. I won't grab any of your ones there. I'll grab a couple of these ones. So there's an enter key. And there's another one. Where's the other anti-enter gone to? I think that's just a blank. Where's my anti-enters gone to? No, it's another blank. How do I have so many blank anti-enters? Huh. Nope. Ah, there's a green one. To be fair, it's going to be very difficult to get you guys to hear this because, number one, the switches aren't soldered in place, and obviously there's a little bit of rattle involved. So, if I do it like this, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Let me know straight away if you guys can hear this. So, you hear that? Very faint. Okay, let me turn. You're up to maximum volume, but you can hear it. Okay, so that's the one with the hockey tape. Yeah. Yeah, so there you go, guys. So that's why I hockey tape mod these, because it's just not plastic on plastic. It's plastic on fabric material, which really reduces that horrid sort of harsh bottom out sound. So now I have to get this up. Okay, let's get rid of the anti-enters. I mean, it's probably very faint because it is quite a long way away, but when you've got keycaps on the board and everything soldered down, it becomes very, very noticeable. For the cost of, this cost me £3. The cost of £3 for as many boards as I'm going to be able to do with it, it's well worth it for me at the end of the day. And I mean, I'm probably never going to run out of tape, even if I were to do a build every single day for the next year. There's that much. There's that much there. It does not want to come out. Plus, you can get the hockey tape in pirate, so you can get the pirate flag all over it if you really wanted to. So you can go that far with the aesthetic. And I'm sorry, Kronborg, that I couldn't do that for you. I'm going to have to clean this off a second because it's not going to stick otherwise. Okay, let's get these stuck back down. Do what? I was just grabbing a drink. What did I just say? It's gone completely from my mind, sorry. Do you guys ever have those brain lapses where you say something and then you completely forget it? That's what's just happened. It's gone completely out of my mind. Pirate flag hockey tape. Yes. Yeah, I was just saying that you can get pirate flag hockey tape, and unfortunately I don't have any of that. Thank you very much, Zapri. Right, I'm going to have to take this out to be able to put the other one in, because otherwise it's not going to work. Yeah, I should get some different colours for the hockey tape, because you can get all of the standard colours. You can get red, blue, green. I got white. You can get black. I should probably get black because most of the PCBs that I'm working on are black. But it's hockey tape at the end of the day. I'll go with it. I might need to get a. I might need to put a little rubber washer in between here, because it does look like it is touching the switch, but I didn't have one. Didn't have one in there before, so we'll see how it goes. Should have sent some hockey tape. I have tons of it. Any cool designs on it? Could have even had a puck for the full experience. So puck shavings underneath the PCB for added thock. Just have white tape. That's a shame. I thought a hockey man like yourself might have some more cool tapes or something like that. Oh, I need some more hockey tape actually, because I'm thinking of just ISO layout here. I'm not putting one over the other side. I'm going to need to put some more down, because we are going full standard ANSI, full standard ANSI. Going to need left shift as well. So. Damn, these screws do not want to even think about starting to go in. So just so you guys know, I have tested the PCB before this. Obviously it was a working PCB beforehand, and I did a switch header run on it. I'll do a switch header run after I install all of the stabs. After I install all of the switches, I should say. So what we're going to do after this is we're going to put some of the switches in. We're going to put the switches in for the stabilized keys and make sure we're happy with the sound of them. And from there we are going to then install the other switches. Completely install all of them once we're happy with the stabilized keys, and then start soldering. wind these in by hand. I should just give up for trying that now. So Grunborg, are you excited for getting your first TKL custom? Really excited, yes. Good to hear. So have you ever tried a these linear Zac before, or first time? Christmas came early this year. Yes, I guess it did. It's a solid board, really solid board. Really good first choice board, to be fair. I have a pre-built mech once with Cherry Brands. That's all I've tried. Oh, you're going to be very pleasantly surprised then, I think, because I think the lubing job that I've done on these is excellent, if I say so myself. But also the switches that you've chosen are top-notch. Top-notch switches. Subscribe being disabled. So Wasabi's, I'm not I haven't been streaming long enough or hard enough or any of those things to get a subscription. So you can't subscribe to me, but please do follow. And if you do want to hit subscribe, go to my YouTube channel and hit subscribe on there. And you can, if you use the command !YouTube, you'll get my YouTube channel, and that's got all my typing tests. And this board will be typing tested later this evening and be put up onto the channel as well, so you guys can get a accurate representation between boards, at the very least, of what they sound like, or accurate to your speakers and what my system sounds like and everything. So as accurate as you can get, or as I think I can get. Did a lot of research on switches. Yeah, it's great to do a lot of research on switches. There is a lot of choice out there nowadays, and it's very easy to fall for the marketing jargon that a lot of places are pumping out nowadays. Good to do your own research, listen to a lot of typing tests, listen to what the vibe of a lot of people is currently, see what people are liking and everything. Tough decisions to make, though. Hopefully my typing tests will make it a little bit easier for you to make decisions, though. I hope, at least. Oh, this one's not enjoying. This one is not enjoying the life of being put into a switch there. not enjoying itself though. There we go. A little bit better. From the videos I've watched, I like the sound of inks a lot. Yep, no, inks are a solid choice. Inks are a very solid choice. They've got a great sound to them. They've got a great feel to them. They fall probably right in the middle, along with C3 tangerines on great sound and feel. The creams that are in these, they sound better than they feel, probably. But Telios feel better than they sound. So these sort of sit in the middle, I'd say, and pick the best of both worlds, really. Okay. Let's just get a spacebar one in. So I'm going to grab your set of EPBD grayscale now, because we are going to place your stabilized keys into place. Now, this is another one that is not enjoying life very much then. Okay, there we go. So we've got a bunch of them in place now. Here, because it is separated a little bit. Just want to get a good idea of how these are going to feel and sound, so that we're not soldering it in place and then realizing that it doesn't feel very good. Just going to get a couple more switches for the middle here. I have Telios in my switch test and it's very smooth. Telios are very nice. They are very nice. They are very, very nice. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a... which way do you have your spacebar? Flipped or normal? There is a normal, I guess. Have you ever tried flips before? We've got a runner. The reason that I asked this question is because I'm going to be trying to dial in the stabilized keys for you, and you can sort of bed them in a little bit better, knowing which way somebody has it. So that's one level of shift. So let's put the backspace in place. Let's go normal to start with. Okay, we'll go with normal. Just going to put that one in there. Okay. Just trying to find all of these damn longer stabilized keys. So you've got an awful lot of I mean, they just keep coming. Jeez. There's the ISO enter. More keys. There's an awful lot of extras in there. That looks like a shift key to me. That is not a not long enough shift key though. I'm pretty sure one of these isn't just the shift key in disguise. No, none of those are the shift key. No, it's fine. It's going to be in here somewhere. I think I found it. So this will be this boy. Yeah, that's that boy. And this should be this boy. Okay. I'm just going to borrow a blue spacebar for now. So this is normal. That is flipped. You can see that I use flipped spacebar, so you're going to be screwing up my typing test speed, but I'll go with what you want. Something not liking itself there then. Okay, so the other keys. The other keys feel fine. This one does not. The stabilizers are moving fine, so I think it might just be. The spacebar does look pretty warped, so I might try them differently. Looks less. Try it though. No. No. That is warped to all hell, that one is. It's the downside to EPBT stuff, unfortunately. No, we'll try the white one. No? Yeah, again. Is it something else that's interacting with it then? Okay, so the way that we can test this, if these are warped or not, I have a 7U GMK, which shouldn't be at all warped. Yes. Wires and stuff like that. If it's anything to do with that, but it doesn't look like it's causing any issues, unfortunately. I can't get back up now. Come back. See, the wire is moving freely, unfortunately. It's happy and moving freely. So let's keep you there for now. Let's see if flipping it works. I mean, flipping it might work a bit better, I don't know. I mean, it is moving. It's just really not having a fun time about it though. I don't know if the wire's just popped up enough or not there. Or the wire has completely popped out now. It is not enjoying life. So I'm going to try and pop the wire back in. That's not good though. Oh, it's completely crap. Oh, now we can go. Is that in place or is it underneath it? There we go. See if it was just the wire that was popping out, but I'm dubious if it's just going to be the wire or not. Come on, Wyatt, go home. You're too good for your home, Wyatt. Does the PBT stuff warp or just ePBT? I think it's just been a main problem that people have had with the ePBT stuff, unfortunately. Is just slightly warped is slightly warped space bars, especially the slightly longer ones. So you might be unlucky with this here, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. All right. So I've popped it back in place. Let's put the space bar back down. We're going to put it in the flipped orientation. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, it works, but it feels like it's lagging. Like, it just doesn't feel quite there. And I mean, it's moving freely. Maybe it's the switch, so let's swap the switch out. I think you might just be unlucky with the ePBT here. Okay, let's put that in place. Okay, that feels fine to me, so let's try a different one. Come on. Yeah, it's unfortunately the warping on these are pretty horrible. Yeah, I'm sorry, Crumble, but the warping on them is pretty nasty. I've tried that one already. Let's try the green one in the flipped orientation. I mean, same problem, exact same problem. They're all just really warped. I mean, if I straighten them out. Yeah, they're all pretty damn warped. I'll pull them up. I'll just show you again. I've got the red one here, but let's grab the green one instead. I've got a green 7U here as well. So I'll put it on normal. Yeah, you can fix the ePBT space bars. I'm not going to attempt to do it, Chromebook. I'm not going to attempt to do it because it does involve heating them up with boiling water. Dry Cynical, can you, if you have me on Discord, send it across to me that way, and then I'll post it into chat. I'll put some music back on. So, okay, Chromebook, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it using one of my space bars. So what you're going to need to do is, if you want to continue using grayscale, use one of his, the guide that he's going to send me over. Send you video. Cool, perfect, thank you. I think I'll pop the wire off again. Yeah, but which is going to be a pain in the ass. Oh, this is really tight as well. Yeah, the wire's moving completely fine, so make sure it's in both sides. Yeah. But The others sound good. For the typing test, I'm going to have to swap it out, unfortunately, as well. It is what it is. He sent me it. I'll post this into chat for you guys. Thank you very much for sending this across. Let's. There you go. So that's in the chat now. But I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that. There is definitely some warping in the. I mean, if I can do that with it, then yeah, it shows it. Unfortunate, but this one is the least warped of all of them. Probably the second least, and then this is by far the worst. So, I mean, I'm sorry, Kronborg. I'm not going to be able to use your full set to do a typing test. But what I'll do is I'll be sneaky about it, and I'll use the green and stuff like that. What about the shift and enter? Are they warped as well? No, they're completely fine. So the shift keys, and it's only on the longer keys that you have the problem. So these keys feel perfect. If you guys can hear that very well. The shift key feels fine. There's no warping to it. So, yeah. Pop these back up, and we'll pop all of these back in there. Alright, I'll try and fix the space pods. Yeah, I don't want to I won't do it myself. I probably could do it, but at the same time, I don't want to ruin your spacebar for you. I'll let you do that. They are very tight on there as well. Okay. So what we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to get all of the other switches onto the board now, because it is laid out nicely. So we're going to get all of the switches onto the board and get them soldered, because we have now spent an hour and 41 minutes lubing some stabs and putting some switches into a PCB. So we're going to get this sorted. But yeah, so unfortunately, Crumble, what I'll do is I'll rip the spacebar off of this for it, because they're about the same colour. And I'll put that on there instead, which is a bit of a shame. But that'll be only for the typing test. So when you get it back at yours, Kronborg HQ, you'll be able to mould the spacebar back to how it needs to be, or how it should be, I should say, as well. Weren't you going to install the switches south facing, or is that what you're doing? I believe these are south facing switches. They've only got one direction that they can be installed. Okay, let's move these out of the way for now. So we should have some extras here. Oh, never mind. Okay, yeah. I thought this was south facing. I thought this was at least. Sees ANSI board leaves. It's not my ANSI board. I will mention that it's not my ANSI board, but I mean, when somebody's making a GMK set based around a pub landlord in the UK, then it does make sense that you're just going to leave straight away. It's the bottom of the top housing that's south facing. So it's the bottom of the top housing that is south facing. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I had to get my brain around that one there. So the LED slot has to point down for it to be south facing. If it's north facing, the LED slot points upwards. Yeah? Just hit my other screen a little bit. I'll take that back as it's not yours. Yeah, it's not mine. It's not for me. I'd have it in ISO if it was for me. So I do have to say, Kronborg, though, this stabilizer combo looks dope. Taking bets on how many bent switch pins there'll be. I'm expecting a couple. I'll be fair, most of them are going to be alright, but I think this one's not going to be alright because the top housing doesn't want to sit in there properly. One of them just popped out from somewhere. Oh, it's the spacebar one. It's because it doesn't have, it's got like the whale tail. So it's not being supported on the bottom side of it. I have made extra switches though, so if there is any bent pins I can just pull them out. Burger mount with O-rings? Yes, I am going to be burger mounting. There's some little O-rings in here, so I'll be burger mounting the plate. I'm going to take this spacebar one out for now. Sit there. Yeah, it looks really good. At least I have that going for me. Yeah, I'm sorry to see that your EPPT set's a bit warped, but it does happen on the longer stabilized keys. So, and it is a 7U, so just something that I didn't even think to check. Oh, there is one bent pin that I can already see, and it is this one early on. Yeah, there's a bent pin on that one. So it's going to take your tally down by one because it's not at the end. And don't say that it's cheating, because it's not. Okay, that one's already got a bent pin before it even goes in. No fair, but it is cheating. In my rules, and I'm coming up with the rules here, it's not cheating. Okay, I'm going to have to rebend one of the pins on one of these. Let's use this one here. Okay, and let's just bend this back. Where is this little bent pin? This one doesn't. This one wasn't synced right. this is the board so far. So you can see how good those stabilizers look. You can see that they've got the little white inserts on them, but the black outers. You can see these are moving just nicely. All moving just nicely. So, okay, let's flip her on over, and I will do a bent pin counter. I will be truthful and I'll be honest on how many bent pins there are, minus the one that was there, because that didn't count. Okay, so I'm just going to clear the workspace for the soldering iron. Okay, so let's get the soldering iron up and running. My mouse is trying to make a runner. Okay, there goes the mouse. Okay, let's get it up to temperature. Once that gets up to temperature, let's just flatten these down and in properly. Just doing this to make sure that the switches are all in nicely. Because sometimes, as you're pushing them in, they don't get full mounting pressure, or you put the switch in next to it and it pops the one up next to it or something like that. But these feel good. Okay, the iron is up to temperature, so let's get soldering. So I'm just gonna grab this here actually. Tin the tip quickly. Okay, I'm gonna get soldering here, guys. I will count out the number of bent pins when I see them. I think I'm gonna have 2 bent pins. 2 pins. Fast iron. Yeah, it's the Hakko is a pretty fast, nice iron. What's the cost of your build anyway? Builds anyway. How much does it cost me to like somebody to pay me to build them, or how much does this build in front of me cost? Which are you asking? Leaded solder and no fan. Live dangerously. Yeah, I don't have a fan in here, but I have got the window wide open across the room from me, so I should just about survive. So no bent pins so far. The bottom row so far is looking safe for me. You already have 2 bent pins, mate. Nah, those bent pins don't count. There was one anyway. There was 1 bent pin, and it doesn't count because it was caught before it went into the board. And the other one was discounted because the board wasn't completely finished, ready to be soldered before I found it. So, I mean, them's the rules. Okay, so bottom row is safe. Bottom row is safe. Yes, how much for you to build one? I charge £20. I charge £20 and return shipping. Okay, so this switch doesn't look like it's fully in. In you go. I charge £20 plus return shipping to build, and that includes hockey tape modding and lubing of your stabilizers. Kronborg very luckily got this as part of the deal of buying the board from me. I threw that in there for him. Kronborg is getting a board with 10 bent pins because you won't admit it. The switches will work. The switches will work. No, there'll be no bent pins. Don't worry about that, Kronborg. If there is any bent pins, I will pull the switches out and I will unbend them and put them back in. The board and the switches are too good to do that to him. That's a bloody good price. Definitely makes me consider. Well, yeah, I mean, I make it so that I have content for the streams. Without you guys sending me builds to do the stream would be pretty boring. Like I wouldn't have a lot to do, and I'd probably end up just desoldering that board there and redoing it over and over again. So it'd get a bit boring after a while. So. And it also gives me content for my YouTube channel. I'm intending on doing a typing test for every build that comes across the channel now, and I've got it down to a pretty good speed of getting the builds up, getting the typing tests up. So. Yeah, Midders has found the YouTube command. So if you guys are watching and you do want to watch more of these builds, and this is the first time that you've ever watched me, I have all of my keyboard builds on my YouTube channel. And if you hit !YouTube, you'll get my YouTube channel. If you're interested in what I'm building today, you can put in !build and that'll bring you the details up. But the VOD of this will be uploaded to the YouTube and put into the what would you call it, category of build streams. But there's also the typing test. So if you want to watch the typing test of this build afterwards, where I put them into the same conditions, the microphone is at the same distance away, there's no music in the background obviously, you can get a better idea on how it works. Prime, Midders, I'm not a partnered or affiliated streamer or anything like that. I don't stream anywhere near enough, so I don't have a subscribe button, nor do I have a donate button. Realistically, I would much prefer you guys to put your money into other streamers. Go put your money towards Salvin, who's going to be building the Ace of Spades, or go put it towards Top Clack or something along those lines. I do this as a bit of fun. I enjoy building boards, and I'd hope that either put it towards those content creators, or put it into improving your own boards, by being able to put that little bit of extra money into being able to buy some better switches, or a nice keycap set for yourselves. Wasabi's trying the !Lude. I'm gonna have to make a command that does something now. I'm gonna have to make a Calendar Girls style keyboard calendar for you, where you can use !Lude to get the flavour of the month. Speaking of the Ace of Spades, will you ever be making a round 2? Well, there is the thought of making a round 2 at some time in the future. Ace of Spades is going to be the overarching brand for my keyboards for now. and I'm hoping that there is going to be some more in the future. Some different layouts in the future. The Ace of Spades, the TKL probably will be run again in the future. It's not going to be run at the same level that this one has been. This one has had every bell and whistle thrown at it. The next one's probably gonna take the creme de la creme of what people have wanted from this and go into the next group buy if I do run one. I'm not specifically saying I'm going to, but it's a maybe further down the line. Nude keyboard. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, that would be good. I'm gonna take a bunch of keycap plus some keyboard shots. There we go. That's what we're gonna do, Wasabies. Thank you for the idea there. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, we're rocketing along nicely here. I have actually only found the bent pin that was outside of the board before. There has been no bent pins so far whilst I've been soldering, or I've just soldered straight past them, but I don't think that's going to be the case because I'm pushing the soldering iron up against the pin itself, so no bent pins so far. Quality service, professional builder. Won't be seeing you on Cowboy Builders. Well, you're not going to be seeing me on Cowboy Builders for a little while. I mean, I've got a good sense of when things are going downhill, and I'll just jump counties. They won't find me. I'll send you my TGRLS with confidence now. Yeah, it would fill me with confidence if you had the TGRLS. Oh, bloody hell. Hey Goofer, how you doing? Scared the crap out of me there. Goofer says, I've literally never built a keyboard or anything before. I feel moderately confident in it. I'm UK based and cannot find a single place in the UK with anything in stock. Do you know any British companies that sell hot swap DIY sets? So, oh bloody hell! I've got the notifications up way too loud. So if you want hot swap kits, have you looked at mech boards? Mech boards Mechboards UK. I believe it's mechboards.co.uk. Oh, and hello, RJ Zood. How you doing? Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Nah, it's alright. I've just got the notification sounds way too high. They come through my headphones at like 100 decibels. Yes, I was looking at their 60%, but I believe it was a PCB that was no stock of. So the HS60 is probably what we're looking at. To be honest with you, if you want in-stock items, you're probably best off going to China and getting them from KBD fans. That's probably going to be your best bet at the moment. I mean, if Mechboards doesn't have stuff in stock and it's hot swap, then you're going to be very unlikely to find anywhere else in the UK, because so Caps Unlock does group buys. If you're willing to wait, he's got the CU60, CU65 and the CU80, which are both hot swap, but they're in group buys, so you're going to have to wait for them to be made, turn up in the UK, and you're going to be without that money that whole time. But yeah, I mean, otherwise you're going to be realistically looking at China for your parts, and so you're going to look at the what is it, the DZ60 from KBD fans is probably a good choice for you if you want something 60%. I don't know if they do anything bigger than that really. I don't know if there's a DZ65 that you could go for, but I know that the DZ60 comes in ANSI and ISO, so you might be better off going down that route at the very least. RJ Zood says, now KBD fans are shipping fast. I got my case in 2 weeks. Damn, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Met market on Reddit, maybe overpriced though. Yeah, you are going to pay for a bit of a premium. I mean, are you on the UK Discord, Goofer? The UK Discord might well be a better space for you, because at least the UK Discord, you're going to be buying stuff from people who are also in the UK. Obviously, you're not going to get the same sort of warranty and customer service that you might be getting from actually buying it from somewhere. But I joined that one today. Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. No, it's not Mechboards UK. It's MK UK, Mechanical Keyboards UK. Let me grab a quick link for you. Create an invite. I'm gonna set it so that it never expires, no limit, generate, copy. So here you go. So that's the link to Mechanical Keyboards UK, and we're just a community. So there's a bunch of people on there that are around the UK. There's a lot of UK vendors on there. But the one good thing about the whole spot is that we have a buy, sell, trade section, so you can have a browse on there, see if you can find a hot swap board on there. But it's also a good place to have a chat to people about switches and what people think are good. And, I mean, there's people buying everything from GMMKs, so the glorious Gaming Master Race keyboards, all the way up to there's people with key cults on there and stuff. So it's a good melting pot of opinions. So go take a look at that at the very least, Goofer. But most of the time they're going to probably tell you go and have a look at KBD fans. And if you don't want to spend an exorbitant amount of money, KBD fans is probably the best place to go to. And funnily enough, it's where this board that I'm soldering right now has come from. So I am soldering their TKL. that KBD fans make. The KBD8xII. And Wasabies, we are on the final row of switches, and I have not had a single one so far with a bent pin. So you're going to need a row of like 4 in a row bent pins here to catch up. It's not looking good. Goofer says the cost isn't a huge issue. Obviously, I'm not about to blow a stupid amount of money. A stupid amount, but I'm not the most patient bloke. So speed is essential. Well, unfortunately, the normal keyboard community, we are mostly about waiting for stuff, keyboard group buys and stuff like that. But I mean, KBD fans do ship pretty quick. I think they're shipping with FedEx at the moment. Is it FedEx or DHL, or they're shipping with one of the bigger ones, so you can get your board in like a week or 2 weeks or something like that. They're not using 4PX or whatever it was. You'll fix it off stream. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put some keycaps on this after this, and I'm gonna do a typing test for you guys, so you'll be able to at least hear what it sounds like. So there's gonna be no ill-gotten win here. The one thing that I will preface this with is I'm partially expecting the backspace to not work, because it is directly touching one of the pads that's there, the stabilizer screw. It wasn't a problem previously, but I'm obviously using different screws because I was using Zeal screws and the last time I did this, and these are Duroc ones, so they might be slightly different, but otherwise I have great confidence here, great confidence. They use FedEx, but it's expensive. I'm assuming what the pound scene means. Yeah, KBD is FedEx. Oh yeah. Didn't 9009 ship from Group Buy recently? Yes, it did. So that's round 3 of it, I think. Round 3, 9009 shipped recently. So yeah. That was with Dixie Mac, I think. Dixie Mac doing that one, so slightly different, not layout, but slightly different keys this time around. I think he's using the Dixie Mac centered modifiers, I think, or slightly different modifiers if I remember rightly. Okay, there's a few pins that I've missed along here, but that's because I can't get to them in that direction without melting the RGB underglow LEDs. So who are you really, Pokemon Kid or Sailor Moon Kid? I am both. I am both. Originally the Pokemon Kid. KBD fan uses JSEX, yeah, that's it, for EU to dodge tax. Source, I know, yeah. I think they've stopped using JSEX recently, and they've moved to FedEx entirely because of the COVID crisis and stuff like that, so. I got FedEx though. Yeah. I think they've stopped using it like in the last month. It's just after when they stopped shipping stuff to us. I think that must have been a month or two ago. Maybe a little bit longer than that. Alright, let me just... Alright, so all I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm just going to quickly look across the board just to make sure that I haven't missed any pins at all. I will note that there was no pins that were bent, no pins. Okay. Ah, I've missed these ones. I'm not used to doing ANSI, so I've missed the ANSI back. The what was it? The ANSI backslash. Oh, there is one there. I just missed you. It's all looking good. All looking good. Okay. They start doing it again for EU peeps for the taxes. Yeah, I'll get you on another stream. You can try. You can try. I mean. I was putting, to be fair, I was putting them in pretty clumsily, so here we go. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to move the soldering iron out of the way because it is boiling hot at the moment, and we're going to move some of the bits and pieces out of the way. So let me get, what we're going to do, we're going to get switch hitter up. So I'm going to unplug this one, and we are going to plug you in. And it's under E, isn't it? Elite keyboards, switch hitter. Okay, so we've got it under ANSI, so we are going to turn switch hitter on. So you guys can now see switch hitter. I wasn't able to get it to crop it down. It did not want to crop down whatsoever. So we're going to open up switch hitter, and we're just going to, I'm going to pull this across onto this screen here, and we're just going to go through switch hitter quickly. So escape works, 1, 2, 3, dun, 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 dun. That's looking all good so far. Dun, 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 dun. It's looking good, eh? 2 rows. Three rows. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to hit it again. Make sure my caps lock is turned off. 4 rows. 5 rows. So there's going to be one switch that's not going to show up on this. So I'm going to do this, and it will be this switch here, because the reason for that is because it is the function switch. So what did you set on the function on function row, Cromborg? Can you tell me a switch that if I hit this and something else it's going to work with? I mean, I can probably. No, this is going to be. Okay, function R is reset. Okay, so QWER. So, yep, there we go. just reset it. So that all works. I'm happy with that. So all of the switches work in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get it put back into the case. And you guys can't hear any music anymore, can you? Are you still there? Yeah, we're still there. Of course we're still there. Okay, let's get the top piece of the case. So here is our top. Oh, we're going to turn the switch hitter off. Don't want to see that anymore. Okay. So we're going to put the top of our case there. We're not going to put it in place yet. So we're going to burger mount this. I'm hoping that there is enough O-rings in here and I haven't lost any. I can see 7 O-rings and not as many places. Oh, there was one stuck together. There we go. There is enough O-rings. I think I might have lost one of them. Yeah, there is one O-ring missing, so I'm going to have a look in the drawer quickly, see if I can find a spare O-ring, because I'm pretty sure I bought some more of these. You know what, I do have a spare O-ring. Where is the... It's not going to be the same colour. Just check if there's another one. No, it's not going to be the same colour, but it'll be right. Here we go. So I've got some black O-rings for the Ace of Spades, so you'll have one of these instead. They're exactly the same size as these. We'll put it in the spacebar one. Come on. There we go. Perfect. Did you double check the bag? That's a good point, actually. No, there's nothing else in the bag. Yeah, it's not amongst the screws either, so I have lost it at some point, which is a real pain in the ass. But it doesn't matter. I've got spares. I've got plenty of spares. Okay, that's sitting in there nicely. So let's, what is this using? This is using a crosshead, Phillips head. So let's get this screwed into place. Yeah, unfortunately it's not in the bag, Wasabies. Just going to get a few of the corner ones put in first. Nice and tighten down. So the question here, Kronborg, is what would you like to see the board tested with? Would you like your EPBT set put on there, and then a different spacebar, so one of my GMK 9009 spacebars, or would you prefer me to put GMK Demonic on this? What would you prefer? So RJ Zood asks, which is your favourite linear switch? So I've got a couple of favourite linear switches at the moment. So this board here has got Novelty creams in them, and I'm really enjoying those at the moment. They've got an amazing sound to them. For pure smoothness, I'm a big fan of Telios. I've had a couple of boards with Telios in them, and they're really solid switches. But right now, my flavour of the month is I'm really enjoying Tangerine V2s. They just sound and feel really, really great, and they are going to be what I'm going to be building next week. Wasabi says, I'd like to see you boil the EPBT set. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go that far. Let's go with PBT set plus spacebar of yours. Okay, yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah, I don't think Kronborg will be too happy if I decide to boil his EBBT set down. Yeah, I don't think I'd probably get too many customers again for builds if I started melting their sets down. Okay, this is nice and tight now. Okay. So, Kronborg, did you want the rubber matting as well to be inside of here? So, let me just grab the base of the board. So this rubber matting, did you want this in there? Yeah, I love creams a lot. Creams are great sounding. If you want to hear the typing test of this, go type !YouTube and you'll get taken to my YouTube channel, and there will be my typing test videos, and in there you'll find this board. So have a listen to that if you want to hear the amazing sound of that. Does it reduce ping? It'll reduce ping a little bit, and it'll also reduce the hollowness of it, as Trosinical says. Trosinical. I would probably recommend it. I mean, you can always take it. I mean, the foam isn't stuck down or anything, so you can always open it and take it out. Yeah, foam that bad boy. Okay, sweet. I like the sort of decisiveness that we like to hear. Okay. Let's just flip her on upside down now quickly. And I believe that these use a different head now. Yeah, they do. So they use a hex head now. Probably going to be you, I think. Nope. I used foam in this last time, and the foam is excellent. It was also something that I was really not expecting to get given as a little added extra from them. Okay. I may have to get that board as well. I did actually order the KBD pad. Wow. So are you gonna try and get in on the what is gonna be the group buy for them again fairly shortly, because these aren't coming back. These are going to be re-group buyed by KBD fans. They're doing a round. Is it a round 2? The KBD8X Mark II round 2. Can you call it that? Not coming back. It's there's a on the KBD fan server. If you go have a look at they're doing another run of the 8X. They're doing it back in. They're doing polycarb, the metal versions of this. And as I said to Kronborg, said to you guys earlier, Kronborg got an excellent deal on this from me. He's gotten it cheaper than what the group buy price is going to be, the new group buy price at least. Okay. She's pretty hefty. Okay, let's get some of Kronborg's caps then. So we know that we can't use any of the space bars, and there is a unholy amount of so I'm going to need this one here. So I'm going to go on this stabilized key. Right, yeah, might join it in on it Expensive month, eh? Okay, let's get some of the modifier keys on there at least. Okay, there's the Alt key. I don't know if you guys could see that, but the amount of flex that there is. Okay, this is going to be, I'm going to tell you guys now, this is going to be confusing as all hell, because there's like 4 sets of keycaps. Like, you could nearly make 4 sets of switches in here. Jesus, that one is bowed to all hell. All right, you want to see warped, guys? I'm not making fun of it here, but look at that. That's some warping right there. I mean, that's 2 mil off of the desk on one side. Boily says. Oh dear. Wait, these are different colours. And they're different heights. Ah! There's too many keys. And this is F1 and 2. F1, 2 and 3 are different profiles and different heights. Sorry, I missed some messages here. Flex with the brass plate. Yeah, there was flex. There's flex there, and I think it's down to the God knows what it's down to. To be fair, it might be down to the padding underneath that's just making a bit of flex, because it is pushed right up. Oh, I've lost one of the keycaps. Which is why I find your stream pretty valuable to pick up do's and don'ts. Yeah, there's probably more don'ts than do's in this stream if I'm fair. Okay, so that's the same colour as that. So we're gonna go with that colour. Okay, that's again a completely different row. That's the same colour as that. Hey Smudge RL, how you doing? Okay, so there's 1. That looks right. That at least looks right. Number 3 at least looks right. Okay. Don't know if you guys heard that. Oof. Your wallet's gonna hurt. Oof, yes it is. Okay, so is that the right size? I'm gonna say yes. Z starts there. There's an escape key. We'll go with that. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. Why do you use the key to the left of the one on the top board? What do you mean? Oh, what, on this board here? Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's because it doesn't have a tilt. It doesn't have that. This is the round one of it, so it never came with it. The original set. TYU. We're going to say that's page up for now. L must be there. Alright, I'm going to move all of the keys that I'm not going to need over here. These so far, and these. I'm not sure about that one. I'm not going to need that one. These. There is an awful lot of keycaps that aren't going to be used in this. One of those. F6. Yes, we'll keep F6 because F6 works. We're not going to need ISO enter. Those 1.5U control, that's good. Need that one. Don't need that one. It's an Alt GR, don't need that one. It's a puzzle. Yes, it's a really annoying puzzle with that. There's a lot of keys in this set. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will just say this now, Kronborg. These are sounding excellent. All good. Spending a lot less on other stuff because of Corona. Yeah. I mean, my travel has gone from 0 to 0. I didn't travel in the first place, but. Okay, so that's a stepped caps lock, but center pin. Don't need that. Need non-center pin stepped caps. I'm going to run out of desk space for all of the keys that I don't need to use. You just put F10 to the left. Yeah, there's F10 is a different colour. So you can see it's a different colour. There seems to be like 4 different sets of like different colours for the F row, and then different profiles as well. It's nuts. There's so much. I'm going to go with that as the delete. I think that's right. Okay, that has to go there. Thought I'd get into headphones, DACs, headphone amps as well. Oofed. You're going to spend all your money, eh? I'm big into headphone DACs and amps. Okay, so that's going to go there, but do you want that or the coloured version of the grey version of it? Which would you prefer? I'm sort of saying this like you're not going to be able to change it ever again, but I'm big into headphones and DACs and amps and stuff like that as well. I've got a few pairs of headphones in the drawer. No, you do not go there. Grey version if you can find it. Yeah, it's going to be in here somewhere. Okay, so we're going to put you into that part. That's not right. So I'm going to use the barred version of these, simply because of the fact that I can actually type on barred versions. There's a white F11 key. God, so many keys that you're never going to use in this set. Little test for you guys. What do you think? Yay? Nay? Should I just throw it straight in the bin? Oh, so many keycaps. Okay, so the white one. No. Ah. It only took 10 keycaps to find one that was actually going to go on the board. No. Ah, we've got F9. No, that's the wrong profile. They're all at the very bottom of the bag, aren't they? Okay, that one goes there. Yeah. We've got one more key to the board. No. 5. DMD? Sorry, I don't know what DMD stands for. Oh, DMD, what I decide to get for saying it, love it. What? Alright, say it again. I feel bad for this puzzle. there is an awful lot of keys in this EPBT grayscale set. I looked at the bag and I thought, we'll be able to find them. I should have taken them all out and found the ones that we needed. There's so many keys. Okay, that has to be there. Okay, not no, don't need that. DM'd what I decide to get for saying it. Love it. Oh, sweet, thanks. I'll have a look after stream what you get. So I'm not up to date with all of this new hip fandangled lingo and all of this sort of stuff. Old man. Okay, we're getting there now, getting there. Before I sent them, but I didn't realise that. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. There is an awful lot of caps in this set, though. You should be happy that they've included this many caps. I mean, I will admit 90% of them you're not going to ever need, but you've got them nonetheless. I don't know if I'm going to need that one. I don't think so, though. Pause, break. Okay, we're getting there. Slowly breaking the back of it. Okay, that has to go there. That has to go there. Hey. I'm a little bit jealous of how good this sounds. If only I'd known that I was going to be receiving a bunch of. If only I knew that I was going to be receiving a bunch of Gateron Inks myself. Which reminds me, actually, does anybody know whose Gateron Inks these are? I've received a package of Gateron Inks and I have no idea whose they are. They turned up and I don't. Oh bloody hell! Hi Rabbit Sensei. Thank you for the follow. Free inks, best inks. Yeah, Chrono Man, they are. But I would still like to know who's been sending me free inks. Okay, we're nearly there. Okay, so the home key has to go there, and that's the only logical sense. Okay, so so I think I'm going to have to use the white ones here So the white F keys, and then I have to use the white F keys here as well. So I've just noticed that the F keys on my keyboard up above are wrong. None of you have told me this. None of you have told me this. Okay, let's just put on a different playlist. We're going to go for jazz type music. Cooling jazz to get us to the end of the stream, eh? Or somewhere near it at least. Okay, G key can go there. I've literally never used scroll lock, pause, break, or insert. No, nor have I really. I have lock keys set on my ones, but I haven't ever used them. Okay, so we need the F11 and F9 keys. Okay, they fit nicely. So we need F3. And so we need to rip this one up. This one up. I don't know why. I don't know why you've got two longer F1 and F2 keys. I was yet to find a long F3 and F4 key, so. Okay, F1 is there. And I assume Alt-GR has to be used, because I haven't found it anywhere else. Alright, which would you prefer, Alt-GR or Super? Oh, it's not to go there. Let me just swap this. You prefer Super? Okay, so that's going to go there. So I'll put the Super key there. Okay, so in this pile of keycaps, there is an F2 key. So let's start pouring them back in here. Okay, so you. Okay, so that's an F3, F5. No. F2, there we go. Okay, so literally all of these can go in here now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to complement this with the ANSI one that I've got there. So. Sorry guys, this is going to take a second. I'm just pouring all of the keycaps back into here. Yeah, you would have thought there would be a 1.5U Alt key, but I can't find one in here. Unless it's on the desk hiding somewhere. I haven't seen it as of yet. Can you guys see one? There's an Alt-GR there. I mean, to be fair, I have poured half the keys back into the bag now, but probably a bad time to ask you. Super looks better though. Super does look better. I have to say, I really do like the colour scheme of this. This really nice colour scheme. I would almost be willing to trade this for this if this was GMK. Maybe it's in here, but I can't find it yet. It looks really nice. It's such a shame with the space bars. I mean, you'll be able to fix the space bars. That's the upside to this. Is you're going to be able to fix it. So it's not a difficult process. I just prefer not to be doing anything that's going to be dealing with somebody else's keycaps. I mean, building a keyboard is bad enough. like it's scary enough, but melting, like heating somebody else's keycaps up with boiling water to get them to bend back to the right shape, that's even scarier. Oh. Ooh, nearly dropped it. Okay, let's... Okay, crumble, what would you like to see? Green or red? Green or red? So I'll put them on there like that. Green? Or red? I honestly think red looks pretty incredible, but green. And green does look pretty good. Okay, let's do go with green. Now you say red is also nice. Okay, we're gonna stick with green. We're gonna stick with green. Or does red look better? But listen to that. All right. Red plate. If this wire pops up, it's all your fault. No, I agree. Red does look better. Okay, the wire is still down nicely. Okay, wire is still in. Perfect. Okay. Okay. I do have to say that the board does look incredible like that. Whew. Okay, let me get this desk tidied up a little bit and we'll do a typing test. And you're going to get to see an impeccably slow time. Oh, got another keycap there. One's trying to make an escape, last minute escape. Okay, let's move the polycarb out of the way. Bring you over here for now. Didn't GMK make a set like EPBD Grayscale? Yes, they did. It's not 9009. There is another set. It's the one that goes with Mr. Sleeves. Muted. GMK Muted. And best of luck trying to find it. Okay. Obviously, the enter here is a little bit lower because it's not the same row height. EPBD is slightly higher because it's OEM profile, so it's going to be a little bit E. But I should be able to type around it. So let's put a stop to that. 10. Okay. The other thing that I will mention here is that I'm using an ANSI layout, and hitting that enter key is going to be a little bit weird. So EPBD is still cherry. It's lower. It's definitely lower. Oh, maybe it's just the... Oh, it's just not in properly. There you go. Yeah, it still definitely looks a little bit lower, but it seems to work fine. Okay, let's switch it to there. Where's Streamlabs? Not what I wanted. I'm trying to grab the whole window. Come on. Sorry, I'm trying to move you to the other screen, guys, here. Okay, you guys are now on the other screen. So let's do display capture. Okay, you guys should be able to see this, yeah? So let me just drag it up a little bit. Okay. Let's get rid of all of these. Okay, let's pull this down. 145 words per second. Words per minute incoming. Yeah, right. Okay, can you guys see that all right? I'll put it in the normal spot for my typing tests. So, here we go, boys. Ooh, I'm hitting things all over the place. Jesus. My hands were all over the place. Jesus wept. Okay, let me do that again. Again. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's a bit better. 66. Oof. That was horrid. That was horrid to attempt to type on that, missing everything. But they sound incredible. What do you guys think so far? Do they sound good? I'm really happy with the sound of them. They sound really nice. Let's just gonna get a quick word pad. Oh no, let's get a notepad. It sounds so good. That sounds really good. So obviously the enter, I'm going to rip the enter up here. I'm going to rip my enter up and I'm going to put one of yours down. Okay, still in place. So we're going to ruin the aesthetic a little bit here. But we're going to put one of your ones on here. So we can I'm going to find one of your ones in here. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to make it look like fake Mr. Sleeves. Alright. Can you try FN plus the key of enter? So this is enter, yeah? You mean? What were you expecting it to do there? Is it doing something? It doesn't seem to be doing anything. I mean, okay, let's do one more typing test. One more typing test. I'm not getting a Danish O, but then again that might be because my I'm set to UK English on here, so you might not be getting it because of that. Okay, let's do one more typing test after swapping it over. So. Start again. Oh. Can't get used to that. Oh. Oh, the key left of enter, sorry. Okay, let's this one. No, it's attempting to do something. I don't know what it's attempting to do, but it's attempting to do something here. It's not typing it out though, because it's probably because I've got a English UK. 65, yeah. I'm not that good a typer, but guys, would just like to say thank you very much this evening for coming to watch. This is Kronborg's board, and I'm going to have a full typing test of this done. I'll probably get it done tomorrow. At this point, I'm going to go get some food and stuff. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the stream. I hope you have had. If you've had any questions, that you've had them answered. I'm going to put some music on to go in the background. I hope that you're going to be around for next week's stream. I've got a Mech 27 V2 to build, and that is going to be built with my tangerines. My tangerines are in the drawer here. So I've got some tangerine V2s to build next week. So if you guys would like to come along and watch again next week, I will be about. So it'll be at the same time. So, but that'll be the end of the stream for now, guys. Thanks again for coming to watch. Kronborg, I'll have this in the post to you on Monday. So I'm going to get it all packaged up and sorted and stuff like that, and hopefully find a postal delivery service that's going to allow it to take it. So, but yeah, that's going to be me signing off. I hope you guys have a really good Sunday, and I will talk to you all again soon. Talk to you guys later. See you later.